Hello students, this video is for class 12th biology. Chapter name is human reproduction and the topic is fertilization and implantation. Embryonic development you will study here, and also sex determination, functions of placenta, parturition. These topics you will study in this section. So first the topic is fertilization. As you know, when male gamete fuses with the female gamete and the process is called fertilization. The fusion of haploid male gamete sperm with the haploid female gamete, that is called ovum, is called fertilization. As you know, during coitus copulation between male and female, sperm is released by male partner into the vagina of the female partner, and this process is called insemination. So during insemination, the sperms are released into the vagina of the female genital tract. Then the motile sperms swim and pass to the cervix and enter into the uterus and finally reach to the ovum, released by the ovary in the ampulla isthmic junction. As you know, this is a region where fertilization takes place. Fertilization takes place in this region, that is called ampulla isthmic junction, and the sperm and the ovum, they should be released simultaneously and they should reach together at the region of ampulla isthmus junction. If there is a difference of releasing or reaching to the region of sperm and ovum, then fertilization will not take place. That's why all the copulations do not lead to the fertilization, because fertilization can only occur if the ovum and sperm are transported simultaneously to the ampulla isthmus junction. So this is a very important thing to understand here. After that, the sperm, after reaching the ovary, the ampulla isthmic junction come in contact with the zona pellucida layer of the ovum and block the entry of the additional sperms. Thus, only one sperm fertilizes the ovum, not more than one. So it prevents polyspermy. Only one sperm can enter into the ovum. The secretion of acrosome. So go to the structure of sperm. Acrosome is there. So acrosome enter into the ovum through the zona pellucida and plasma membrane, and thus secondary oocyte completes its meiosis second and result in the formation of secondary polar body and haploid ovum. The haploid nucleus of the sperm and ovum fuse together to form a zygote which develop into a individual. So this is a process of fertilization here. And see the structure of ovum. The outermost layer is corona radiata, then cytoplasm inside, nucleus, nucleolus, plasma membrane, and zona pellucida. So corona radiata, out outer layer, and below that zona pellucida layer is there. So these layers are to be removed to fertilize the ovum. So these are fused by the acrosomal enzymes. These are present on the head of the sperm. So this is the structure of ovum. And now see the process. In this figure you will see the process, what is going on there. First, ovum is released from the ovary and collected by the fimbriae, and these ovum travel through the fallopian tube and reach to the ampullary isthmic junction, where sperm fertilize them. See this sperms. Then day 2, day 3, day 4, after fertilization, zygote is formed. And after zygote formation, the mitosis starts in the zygote. So due to the mitosis, these cells are start to divide, and the division of cells of zygote is called cleavage. So first 2 cell stage, then 4 cell stage, then 8 cell stage, and then 16 cell stage are there, and these are traveling down to the uterus. Last stage, that is called blastocyst, that reaches to the uterine wall at the 16 cell stage, and it attaches to the uterine wall. So the outer layer of the blastocyst, these are called blastomeres, attached to the uterine wall, and this attachment is called implantation of the blastocyst. So implantation takes place here in uterus. See the structure. 8 cell stage, see here, this is called morula. Then after that blastula and blastocyst, and layer of the blastocyst called blastomeres. Blastomeres layers arrange arrange themselves into a layer, and this layer attached to the uterine wall. And so attachment of the blastomeres to the uterine wall, that is called implantation. So implantation takes place here in the uterus. See the structure. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and number of cells are shown here also. This is the process of fertilization and implantation here. See here also in this figure, they are also showing fertilized ovum. With the fertilization of ovum, the region of ampullary isthmic region, then cleavage starts. 2 cell stage, 4 cell stage, 8 cell stage, that is morula also here shown, and early blastocysts, and after that implantation, day 8 and 9. Blastomeres, they attach to the uterine wall, that is called implantation. See here, process of implantation. See fertilized implantation in figure also. The collection of ovum by the fembry, and sperms, those are traveling towards ovum and reaches to the ampullary isthmic region and fertilizes the ovum over there. Then the fertilized ovum travel downward to the uterus and implanted here. See this implantation. So what is implantation? The blastocysts continue to trip down to the fallopian tube and reach to the uterus about 4 or 5 days after fertilization. When the outer cell of the blastocyst contact cells lining of the uterus, the blastocyst embedded in the lining of the uterus, the process of embedding is called implantation. It generally occurs about a week after fertilization. Once implantation occurs, the blastocyst is called an embryo. So see, in blastocysts, the layers are arranged, and these layers are trophoblast, blastomeres are there, and one outer layer, that is called trophoblast, and the inner cell mass, and this inner cell mass is also called stem cells. These are stem cells, and these stem cells have the capacity to develop a complete organism. So see here, implantation, when the zygote moves through the isthmus towards the uterus, it undergoes mitosis, repeated mitotic division in the zygote, result of formation of 2, 4, 8 to 16 daughter cells, and the division of cells is called cleavage. These daughter cells are called blastomeres. The embryo with 8 to 16 blastomeres is called morula. So this is a definition of implantation. Now, after embedding into the uterus of the blastocyst, one very important structure develop between the embryo and the uterine wall. And that structure is a functional and structural unit that is called placenta, connected to the embryo through the umbilical cord, which help in the transport of substance to and from the embryo. Placenta also act as endocrine tissues. It is also endocrine tissue and produce several hormones like human choriogonadotropin, that is called HCG, human placental lactogen, estrogen, and progesterone. So placenta is an endocrine tissue also, very important structure. Okay. Now you will see functions of placenta. What is the function of placenta? The placenta facilitates the supply of oxygen and nutrient to the embryo, helps in the removal of carbon dioxide and excretory products, materials produced by the embryo. The placenta is connected to the embryo through the umbilical cord, which help in the transport of substance to and from the embryo. Placenta also act as endocrine tissues that produce several hormones: human choriogonadotropins, human placental lactogen, estrogen, and progesterone. A hormone called relaxin is also secreted by the ovary in the later phase of pregnancies. These hormones and the relaxin hormone produced by women only during pregnancies. Level of these hormones like estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, prolactin, thyroxine are increased by several fold in the metal tissues during pregnancies. Increased production of all these hormones is essential for the supporting the fetal growth, metabolic change in the mother, and maintenance of the pregnancies. After implantation, the inner cell mass is differentiated into layers: ectoderm and endoderm. So outer layer ectoderm and inner layer is endoderm. Between these two layers, one mesoderm is also developed after that. So ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, three layers are there. All these three layers give rise to all the organs. So some organs are formed by ectoderm, some are by endoderm, and some are by mesoderms. So these layers form different organs in the human. The cells which have the potency to give rise to all the type of cells in the body are called stem cells. So the inner cell mass is called stem cell. Now after that you will study here also one topic, sex determination in human. As you know, male has two sex chromosomes X and Y. So 50% sperms carry X chromosome and 50% sperms carry Y chromosome, while the female has only one type of chromosome, that is X chromosome. After fusion of male and the female gametes, the zygote would carry either XX, because if X containing chromosome fertilize the ovum, then the combination is XX, and when the Y containing chromosome fertilizes the ovum, then combination is XY, depending on the whether the sperm carrying X or Y fertilizes the ovum. So this is the chance of which sperm will fertilize the ovum. The zygote carry XX would develop into the female baby, and if it is XY, it develop into male baby. So this is a process of sex determination in human, how the male and female develop. Now after fertilization, implantation, then pregnancies, pregnancy and embryonic development is there. So this topic is also there. After implantation, finger-like projections appear on the trophoblast called as chorionic villi. Uterine tissue and maternal blood surrounds the chorionic villi. The chorionic villi and uterine tissues together form a structure and functional structure that is called placenta. So placenta is formed with the two tissues of mother and the uterine ball and the embryo. So the pregnancies and embryonic development is there. So now we will see Here, human pregnancies last for about 9 months. Heart develops after 1 month of pregnancy. Limbs develops by the end of second month. Major organs and systems are formed by the end of 3 months. First movement or appearance of the hair are during fifth month of the pregnancy. So these are the steps and what is going on after a certain period of the development of embryo. By the end of 24 weeks, the baby covers with fine hair, eyelids, eyelid separates, eyelashes forms. By the end of the 9 month, the fetus fully develops. So this is the time that is called gestation period of 9 months, that is in human beings. Okay. Okay. After that, parturition and lactation. So here the topic is parturition and lactation also there. The average duration of human pregnancy is about 9 months, called at gestation period. After that, after 9 months, vigorous contraction of the uterus at the end of pregnancy causes expulsion or delivery of the fetus called parturition. So delivery of the fetus is called parturition. And the signals for parturition originate from the fully developed fetus and the placenta, which induces mild uterine contraction, is called fetal ejection reflex. Very important, fetal ejection reflex. Fetal ejection reflex increases, then releases more oxytocin hormone from the pituitary gland of the mother, which acts on the uterine muscles and causes contraction of uterus, which in turn stimulates further oxytocin secretion. So more oxytocin secreted from the pituitary, more vigorous contraction will be there in the uterine wall, and it makes the delivery of the fetus easy, developed fetus easy. Production of milk at the end of the pregnancy by the differentiation of mammary glands is called lactation. So production of milk is called lactation. Okay. The milk produced during the first few days of the lactation is called colostrum. This is very important. Colostrum. It contains antibodies which provide resistance against many diseases to the newborn baby. So the first milk that is produced during pregnancies at the time childbirth, that is very important. So it should be given to the newborn child, that because it contains colostrum containing many antibodies. So parturition lactation is there, sex determination is there, functions of placenta you will study here, pregnancy and embryo development, function of placenta, level of hormones, what is happening, and these two topics are very important, that is acrosomal reaction. So what is acrosomal reaction? Actually this is to prevent polyembryony, so that the ovum should not be fertilized by more than one sperms. So that to prevent the entry of more than one sperm, there are two reactions, acrosomal reaction and cortical reactions are there. The sperm's encapsulation undergoes acrosomal reaction and release certain chemicals known as sperm license present in the acrosome. Due to the acrosomal reactions, the plasma membrane of the secondary oocyte and the sperm fuse together so that content of the sperm can enter. When the plasma membrane of the sperm binds with the secondary oocyte, the plasma membrane of the oocyte depolarized. This prevents polyspermy because after that no sperm can enter through this membrane. And now one cortical reaction is also there to prevent the entry of more sperms. Soon after the fusion of the plasma membrane, the oocyte shows cortical reactions. Cortical granules found under the plasma membrane of the oocyte, which fuses with the plasma membrane and releases cortical enzymes between the zona pellucida and zona Plasma membrane. The zona pellucida is hardened by the cortical enzyme that prevent polyspermy. So, not more than one sperm can fertilize the ovum. So, to prevent the entry of other sperms after the entry of one sperm, so sperm entry is prevented by these two reactions, cortical reaction and acrosomal reactions. So, you will study here these topics: function of placenta, pregnancy and embryonic development, colostrum, parturition and lactation, sex determination, placenta, its hormone, implantation, fertilization, implantation, the structures and the process you will study here. Structure of ovum, okay, fertilization. So this topic you will study in detail also. Okay, thanks for watching.